Hi, let's talk about older adults learning a language, learning French in this case, but not the whole cognitive decline aspect or brain scans or anything, rather based on what I've seen in reality with older adult learners. And I'm happy to say that quite a few older learners trust me with their French simply because they're probably less likely to fall for the flashy trends. They learned a certain way in school which they're comfortable with and that they wish to find now, and so they just like a program that's very grounded, so that explains that. So the first obstacle I usually see is fear of not succeeding, fear of many things really, and I've seen it lead to patterns of avoidance, like half engaging with the program, with the learning program, because those who learn seriously, I can tell you, they turn up battered and bruised and tell me what a workout it was for the brain. And I gently chuckle, knowing that they've been learning B2 and C1 level stuff, but they just call it hard, bless them. So I can see by this cruel experiment that older adults do outperform younger learners, because they're learning B2 level stuff in a matter of months, and they turn up and they say, oh, that was a bit hard, wasn't it? So yeah, older adults can outperform younger learners easily. I've seen it many times, younger learners who stay at A2 level for years and who just go around in cycles. So, and I've seen it last week, this week, with learners of my own, yeah. Those who do avoid engaging with the program, with the curriculum, because it's always a disagreeable matter of do I know it or not, it's sort of black or white, and so they'll often enter into what I might call avoidance mode and engage with the program on their own terms, because I think it's just a very hard human thing to do, a human fear, understandably, to be confronted with, do I know it, yes or no? So that's one thing to be aware of. So we must be brave and tell ourselves that failing is part of learning, and there's no shame, there's no feeling stupid about it. Everyone learns at their own pace, and revisiting things that you learned 2 weeks ago is a natural part of it. You don't always move forward. You can also backtrack and revisit things that you've forgotten. There's no issue with that. It's not a sign of failure, not at all. If we're speaking strictly cognitively, I've never seen a case of which I thought, wow, they're so over the hill it will never work. I've just never seen it. I've been to see members of my own family in nursing homes where obviously they wouldn't be capable, but apart from that, if you're active and I've never seen anyone of which I thought they wouldn't be capable. Self-image obviously plays a huge role as you get older, because you might be less likely to try new things, because we all have this subconscious image of ourselves that keeps us coherent. We all have it, and younger people, younger learners, children, teenagers are more elastic because their identity isn't fully formed or fully hardened, whereas an older learner, an older adult, 60, 70 years old, 50, 60, 70, will have hardened this self-image, this subconscious self-image, and might be more hesitant to try new things. Older adults might be more likely to say, I'm not that type of person. They might be intimidated at the thought of learning a language, or even to do well at French. Success can be scary also. So you can be scared of failure, but you can also be scared of success. I've seen it more than once. They might expect not to do that well, which also influences the results. And I think that that's one of the definitions of youth. Trying new things, keeping that elasticity of mind. I'm trying to think of something else to say about older learners. I really do think it's a non-problem. Some older learners, some older adults do say it gets hard to recall words as we get older. But I feel that this self-diagnosis is risky because they apply what they know about themselves to French, which isn't proven. I've seen that recalling words is just as hard for children as it is for teenagers. I've seen it with learners of all ages. So I find this self-diagnosis a bit overly general and risky. So this just about concludes my video on older adults wanting to learn French. I think that we have to remember we already have the framework of a language in our mind ready to be used, and now it's just a question of putting new words on it, using different words. And if you are an older adult wanting to learn French, head off to wecommunicate.com. You can learn French on your own in a self-paced way, or with myself in 100 classes, and you can try 10 classes for free. See what it's like, see if you like it. Hope to see you very soon. I hope this video was useful. You see how much I'm absolutely not worried about it. I don't think the age factor is a thing at all. I taught children, teenagers, young adults. I think it's all the same. Everyone has similar challenges. Not an obstacle. Anyway, hope it was useful. My name's Chris. See you soon.